Good morning. Welcome to my 4-day job search accelerator. I have so much to share, and I'm really excited to help you get landed faster. Take a deep breath because we're in for a 4 days of tips and tricks that are really going to help you go from lost to landed. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you grabbed the Spark worksheet. If you registered, you will get it in email. I also included the link to download it in the chat. And if you are watching this as a recording, the link to download it will be in the show notes. Who is this workshop for? If you are looking for a job, full-time, part-time, a promotion, then you will get something out of this that will help you move on to your next thing. You may be coming back from a career gap. You might already be in the job transition and be kind of stuck. You might be transitioning careers totally, or you might be taking that next linear step. Whatever it is, I gotcha. Here are the general outline of how things are going to go. Today, we're going to work on identifying our passions and our skills. Then we're going to move on to day 2. We're going to map out how you get there. Day 3, landing interviews. Now, that's what everybody wants the most. And day 4, advanced networking, because I'm sure you're already networking. We're going to get you more targeted. All right, welcome to day 1. Finding the intersection of your passions and your skills. Contemporary career paths are a nonlinear, winding path of self-discovery and exploration. The dream job of your 20s is probably not the dream job of your 40s, or 30s, 40s, or even 50s. I don't know about you. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. So take a moment to reflect on your career journey so far. Are you still doing what you dreamed of doing when you were a 10-year-old? Did you choose this current path based on your parents' guidance or your college major, or where maybe you thought you could make the most money? Are you where you want to be in your career right now? When people find their way to me, they're very much, I want a job tomorrow. And often this step gets skipped. But I would argue that this is the most important step, figuring out what you want to be when you grow up, what you want to do next. Because when we work in alignment with our true gifts and our passions and our skills, and they all meet in the middle, that is where we're excited to go to work, where we perform the best. I created the Spark worksheet out of really a challenge from my many clients and people that I work with. They're like, Maria, I don't have time for this dream job stuff. I need a job now. I have bills to pay. And so I created this worksheet as a kind of happy medium. So stick with me. Let me show you why. All right. So next, are you a commodity or a unicorn? There really is only one you. That makes you a unicorn. But are you showing up in your job search as a commodity or as a unicorn? Think back to the applications you've sent out, or the networking calls, and how you tag people in to help you. How are you describing yourself, your experience, and what you're looking for? Are you standing out from the crowd, or are you saying, I'm looking for a project management position, and you stop there? Do you see how that would be hard for people to help you? I get resumes all of the time that are spectacular. People have so many amazing experiences, and they write this resume in resume language, and they have all the things. spearheaded cross-functional teams to drive product deliverables, ensure timely execution using agile methodologies, and leveraging technical expertise to optimize results. Wow, that sounds like a really fancy bullet where the person was trying to get as many of the keywords in, because we know we need the keywords in our resume to get it through the applicant tracking systems. But do you see how this resume is the same as the 500 other resumes for the same position? Most people who are applying for the position are going to have the same base knowledge, buzzwords, information that you have. So what are you adding above and beyond that that makes you stand out? You starting to see it? Part of understanding what makes you unique is understanding your skills and your passions. That's the things that are energy creators at work. Those days where you're in the flow and you're just performing at the top of what you can do. Any questions so far? Who's ready to find their dream job? All right. This is what the Spark worksheet looks like. Obviously, you're not going to read it off of this. Don't worry about it. Remember, you can download it. All right. To start the Spark worksheet, we start with the skills inventory. Now, I've posed a few questions here to help you work through and create a list of skills. Page 2 of the Spark Lab, Spark worksheet has columns, but you can do this on any sheet of paper. Just start writing down the skills that you have. And notice that not all the skills are about the past. Some of them are about the future. What do you want to learn? What's that thing you really wanted to try that you just haven't gotten around to? It's okay. Put it down on the sheet. When you're done, you should have about 30 skills. What do I do every day when I don't have to do anything? What is that? Do you go volunteer? Do you lead groups? Are you an organizer? Put it down. What does my title indicate my skills are? If you have the actual job posting from when you got hired, that's real helpful. Pull all the keywords out. What have I always wanted to learn? What comes easy to me? The other thing is ask your coworkers, your boss, your friends, what they see, how they see you, because I guarantee you things are going to come up that you didn't even think about it. All right. Next, we're going to move on to a really important exercise. It's the 5 proudest moments exercise. Right now, think back to your most proud moments in your career. Should be sitting up a little straighter. Should be feeling proud. Hell yeah, I did that. Yes. This is your professional highlights reel. These are the moments where you overcame huge obstacles or coordinated big teams, and you were recognized for your efforts. These are the things that not only make you excited to get up in the morning and go to work, but this is the level of performance that your future employer wants. So it's really important to understand these top 3 to 5 moments. Right now, even start with jotting down one. What is one time when you were really, really proud? Later on, I want you to go back and fill in all the rest of this. You want to write out the narrative of what happened in the star format. Situation, what was going on at the company? What were you tasked with? What did you volunteer, right? Sometimes we volunteer for these things. What were the actions that you completed? And what was the result for your company or constituents? And always include those objective measures when you can. After you write that out, in the margin, just write what skills you used to do this. These are your mad skills. These are the skills that are going to pay the bills later. Another helpful thing is to write down who was there, who was on the team, who were your supervisors, who benefited from what you did. Make sure you're connected with all of these people on LinkedIn and make sure that you're tagging them in every once in a while, talking to them, checking in with them, because these people saw you at your best. And these are the people who are going to help you get to your next step. All right. Now you should have a list of 30, 40, whatever skills. Some are things that you've done, some are things that you want to do. In the next column over on the worksheet, you'll see rank your skill level for each of these things. From 1, you're a beginner. From 10, you're a master. That goes in the next column. And then in the next column over, rate your passion level for each of these skills. 1, I never want to do it again. And 10, I can't believe I get paid to do this. Are you starting to see it? Which skills are both high on the mastery level and high on the I can't believe to get paid, I get paid to do this? Those are the ones that you're going to pull. Those are the skills that are going to command the top dollar for you as an employee. What are they? All right. Do you see it? Can you imagine if your next career step is that bucket of those skills that you're highly skilled at and that you love to do? Imagine. I went the next step for those who are visual people and created a graph for you to plot the points. For instance, if you are a project manager and you're highly skilled at an 8 at project management and you love doing it, you love coordinating all the pieces, then you'd put a dot up here in this top right quadrant. The top right quadrant is that place where your passions and your superpowers mix. And let's not forget down here, these are the skills that you still liked or loved to do, but maybe you're not as skilled. So how can you upskill? How can you gain that experience, take a course, take a free webinar, whatever you need to do to move those up the experience level? You can volunteer, get the experiences as a volunteer, whatever works. All right. I wanted to share a few real life stories. On this job search, you may be happy to continue on that linear path. Awesome. But you may be someone who was ready for a little bit of a tweak, moving on to something different. I used to be an athletic trainer and work in sports medicine, and I loved it. But what I realized what I loved about it was working with people and helping them live their best life. But I didn't love the hours and I didn't love the low pay. So I got some education and I moved on to public health. I still was doing those things of helping people to live their best life in my highly skilled and highly passionate bucket. I worked with someone who was in events and catering and loved the orchestrating of the circus, getting people to function on a strict timeline. What they didn't love is the long hours and working when everyone else is not. They loved the public facing aspect of it. And what they found their way to teaching. It was much more stable hours. They were off when their kids were off. But again, those skills in that bucket of being able to orchestrate lots of moving pieces, keeping people in line, these skills transfer and pay the bills. Fundraising to realtor. Fundraisers are relationship builders. The fundraiser loved her swing hours, loved being able to work when she needed to work. When you're in fundraising, sometimes you're in the evening or the weekends, and she ended up going into real estate. Same thing, relationship building, swing hours, they both involve sales. The difference was, as a fundraiser, she was limited to her compensation, whereas in a realtor, the sky's the limit. She could make as much as she wanted. Another one was hospitality industry to financial services. Again, this person loved orchestrating the circus, getting people to function on that strict timeline. But again, the long hours and working when everyone else is not. So she decided to go into financial services and get her different certifications, and still is talking to tons of people, orchestrating all the different tools you can build to build your financial portfolios, and still public facing and working with people. Are you starting to see it? This is the last one that I wanted to share with you, because often clients find their way to me and they are exhausted. They've just got out of a toxic situation and all they want is to do something completely different. And that's awesome. And we can work through that. But remember, your education and your decades of experience, those are your key skills that command the top dollar. So if you're running away from this whole thing, it's going to be a little bit of a downshift until you can get back up again, unless you can figure out how to pull those skills and passions from that top right quadrant and build the next thing. I worked with someone who was in banking and was just burnt out, and really wanted to run away and had turned to coaching. But we all know, she's starting over from scratch. She's got to start from scratch money-wise as well. What we realized after we worked is she didn't hate helping people understand finances. She didn't hate numbers. What she hated was that toxic go, go, go bank environment. And she remembered that she really loved working with the small businesses. So she created a business where she helps small businesses set up their bookkeeping and financial systems. Perfect. Commands a higher pay than a whole new industry would command. And it is also allowing her the flexibility to grow her other business simultaneously. I hope you're starting to see how taking a moment to consider your top skills and your passions, how you can still command these top salaries and keep growing your career. And if you don't take a moment to consider what you really want when you grow up and you hurry right into finding the next job, chances are you're going to be back in a job search 1 year from now, 2 years from now, just as burnt out and broken as you feel right now. So please take the time. I'm available to chat if you have any questions. You can jump in the LinkedIn group and post questions. You can DM me, connect with me on LinkedIn. Let my network become your network. All right. And your homework for tonight is to complete the Career Spark worksheet. Get your LinkedIn profile up and working if you don't already, or go on in there and join the group. The link is in the show notes and in the comments. Complete the proudest professional and personal achievement moments exercise. You may not get through the whole thing because honestly, it can take 30 minutes to an hour to do this. Just start the shell of it. Write down what happened, maybe a few of the skills. Just start. This is not a waste of your time. This will become your resume bullets, your LinkedIn highlights, your elevator pitch, your interview bullets. This is worth your time. Do it. I also invite you to friend me on LinkedIn, like, comment, and share anything from this event. I am sure we all know people who have lost traction in their career and are ready for that career pivot. And one last thought I want to leave you with. There is a child in there that still dreams and wonders. What happens if you hand them the keys over and see where they take you? Have a great day. I will see you at 9 a.m. Mountain tomorrow morning, where we are going to talk about the plan. We're going to map out the plan, how you can get the greatest optimization of your job search time. Not everyone has 40 hours a week to look for a job. Let's get you landed. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.